Olá, boa noite. Eu sou o Biribó, hoje com o vídeo 6 de Runaway 2, O Sonho da Tartaruga. Ontem, quem acompanhou ao vivo a jogatina, sofreu comigo a lerdeza extrema a cada passo do Brian, e o crash geral quando teve alguns desses passos junto com diálogos. O erro é conhecido, ocorrendo nas cenas com neve, mas nem a dona do game, nem a Steam ou o GOG deram solução para isso. Alguns usuários é que repartiram a experiência de uso do obscuro aplicativo DXWND, que sequestra o jogo e o executa numa janela à parte. Pena que, para não dar bug daí na seta do mouse, a gente tenha que desativar a alta resolução. Mas dos males o menor. Ontem, Brian descobriu com Wazowski, estudioso dos ursos, que o remédio para Joshua recuperar a memória é salmão cru. Agora ele terá que providenciar o peixe, mas transformá-lo em sushi, que é a única forma que Joshua aceita consumir peixe cru. Nós paramos na cabana do Ben Wazowski, tentando que o Arquibaldi nos encontre. Arquibaldi, segundo o Ben Wazowski, é um psicopata, mas que sabe fazer sushi.
That must be the exit to a sort of outlook deck surrounding the cabin. A guitar! Too bad I have no idea how to play. Man, that's a great idea. If I play the right song, maybe I can get that Archibald guy to show up. The only holdup is that I have no idea how to play, but hey, it can't hurt to try. I'll step outside so I can be heard better. The light from this lamp will come in handy. Here we go.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is it to ride on a one-horse open sleigh? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is it to ride on a one-horse open sleigh?
Hey, you!
Darn. Wait for me to...
That's too bad. His nose didn't even bleed.
Can you tell me why you just tried to do me bodily harm? Forget it. I don't feel like arguing. You must be Archibald from what I've heard.
Well, you must be a moron. And from what I've heard, a worse guitar player than your father.
So, how is it you met my father?
From hearing him play on that very balcony there. Or isn't your pop that bird brain with the bears?
No, I believe you're mistaken. Wazowski's not my dad.
I'd swear you guys were family. I find it hard to believe backward evolution is widespread among humans.
Hey, he doesn't look like...
The same ape-like expression on your face, the same lack of musical knowledge, and bad taste from the look of your clothing. No, there are just too many coincidences.
Listen, Archibald, I'm warning you that...
All right then, let's look at it from a more entertaining perspective. I know a game called Give Me One Reason Why You Shouldn't Die at this very moment. You'd like it. The end's supposed to be a killer.
You have to help me. My friend got sick from some wild berries, and you're the only one who can whip up the antidote.
You got the wrong idea about me, mister. Even though I'm smarter than most of them, I'm not a doctor.
I've heard you're a whiz in the kitchen.
Mister, I am much, much more than that.
Where'd you learn to cook?
By cooking. How else do you think people learn? But of course, I studied at the finest schools in Paris with the greatest chefs. All I can say is, though, they learn more from me than me from them.
You must have worked in the finest restaurants, I'm sure.
Yes, all the ones they won't let the likes of you into. But I grew tired of half-baked cooks stealing my recipes and using them to get the best reviews in the Guide Michelin.
The truth is, looking at you here, it's hard to picture you in a white apron and a chef's hat.
Hey kid, I can easily picture you in a shroud lying in your coffin.
Anyway, getting back to what I was saying...
Good lord, what an annoying person. If I'd known, I would have acted like a sane individual and made you swallow that bleach.
I need you to tell me how to make sushi.
I don't have to explain anything to you. Did you explain to me about the expired syrup they gave you when you were born?
Do you know Professor Simon?
The best thing I can say about him is I hardly know him. He doesn't bother me with nonsense, and he doesn't make a bunch of noise with a guitar. The guy is nice and quiet in his mansion, doesn't bug anyone or show his face. Now that I think about it, I kinda like him.
I have money. If you help me out, I'll pay whatever you want.
Well, obviously there had to be something good about you. But I'm warning you, I don't come cheap. And I don't work for scraps.
Are you sure you can't teach me to make sushi?
I've mastered the art of cuisine, but I hate the world of education. You want to learn a trade, commit a crime, and sign up for a vocational course in prison. When they let you out, you'll know something useful other than fishing soap chips out of urinals, and you'll no longer be a parasite to society.
You charge that much for your services?
Price is a relative concept, kid. It depends who asks me, what they want, when they need it, and more than anything, what side of the bed I woke up on.
Are you familiar with making salmon sushi?
Does the Pope pray? Kid, you stand before the former chef of Japan's Imperial Palace, the man who introduced the West to sushi, tempura, and sake. And if that's the dish you want, it won't cost you a cent.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, because I can refuse to make it for you. I only work my cooking magic when I'm given each and every one of the proper ingredients, and I'm missing some essentials for sushi.
What ingredients go in sushi?
I don't see why I should tell you, but okay. It contains rice, nori algae, soy sauce, wasabi, ginger, a touch of sugar, a dash of salt, and in this case, salmon.
Which ingredients are you missing?
The salmon to start with, the nori, the wasabi. No, I guess I could achieve a similar effect if I mixed Dijon mustard with apple vinegar and some mint toothpaste. I think I have some soy sauce and ginger around here, so that would be it. Well, I don't have any chopsticks either, or a bamboo mat for rolling up the maki sushi.
I'm not 100% sure of all the ingredients that you're missing, but I could try to find them somewhere around here.
You don't know what the salmon, nori, chopsticks, and bamboo mat look like? Your lack of culinary culture is at par with your IQ. Look around if you want, but I doubt you'll find them all.
Getting back to what you were saying,
You really like to analyze things in depth.
if we were to get all of the ingredients, how much would you charge me to make one dish of sushi?
That depends, kid. How much have you got?
My first thought is I have nothing. Will that be enough? Hey, did you hear me? I said I don't have anything on me.
If you have nothing to offer, I have nothing to say, and of course nothing to make for you. Can't you get that into your head?
Well, I do have a state-of-the-art cell phone with a 3CCD camera. It also hooks up to the net by WAP, has an MP3 player, a hairdryer, a GPS tracker, and a C3PO universal translator.
A phone? Who would I want to talk to? Plus, the cameras in cell phones can be activated by remote control, and the CIA guys are no dummies. I'd rather keep an eye on you, just in case one day your idiocy grows to dangerous levels.
Já tá querendo negociar o azulzinho da barca.
It's not about what I have on me, but rather what you'll be taking away with you. I will make you the recipient of my eternal gratitude, my lifelong friendship, and my unconditional love.
Save it for when you try to hook up at AA or the Salvation Army or wherever you end up rotting. I only want money, or you can take your god-awful music elsewhere.
I think I've got about $1,000. Is 50 okay?
No, 1,000 will do for me. It's a done deal, kid. You get the salmon, the mat for rolling up the sushi, the chopsticks, and the algae. And I'll take care of the rest.
Are you ready? My questions are somewhat personal.
Well, in that case, we could start playing our old game again. But backward. Every time you open your mouth, you give me another reason to feel sorry for your pathetic self and put an end to your sorry, meaningless existence. Considering the vegetative state of your brain, it would be a true act of euthanasia.
Are you barefoot because you don't own any shoes? Or did you make some sort of vow?
Is that what you think? Well then, let's just say I made a promise never to reveal why I go barefoot. Go figure that one out, kid.
It looks like your shower isn't working right. Or your washing machine, for that matter.
You're calling me a pig, aren't you? Well, get over it. I smell like myself, like a human being. In other words, what I'm supposed to smell like. If I'm not mistaken, you smell like body milk, shaving mousse, aloe vera gel, conditioner, artificial aromas B303, F507, and H452, along with any perfume made from camel's sweat that happens to be in fashion. Conclusion, the only dirty pig here is you, and you spent a fortune to get that way on top of it.
Wazowski says you hit him, blindfolded him, and gave him tarantula venom.
Wazowski is an imbecile. He was so drunk he fell down the stairs in his own house, so I threw him over my shoulder and dragged him back up. I put a wet rag on his forehead and eyes to lower his fever, but the guy started to get delirious and spewed a bunch of nonsense about his theory on bears. Then I made him a nice broth out of Terra Brachula, a harmless brachiopod, and left him sleeping. The rest is a product of his moronic imagination.
Tem lógica. E o bebum do Wazowski é que fica de teoria da conspiração.
Do you know Wazowski's theory about why bears scratch themselves?
I'm not just familiar with it. The theory is actually mine. I'm the one who discovered that female bears in heat scratch birch trees to get the sap out. It's as sweet as honey and can be used to make syrup. I noticed that right afterward, they rub their back against the tree to get all covered in it. Then a bear comes along, smells her back, gets on top of her to enjoy the delicacy, and well, nature takes care of the rest. But I don't care about Wazowski stealing the theory from me. I'm used to that kind of thing. Plus, the poor devil has to get some kind of enjoyment.
I think we should talk about more important things, Archibald.
I shudder to think what type of things are important to you.
Thanks, Archibald. I'll be seeing you.
That's a true threat, coming from you.
But how will I find you?
Just whistle, if you know how. But
Thanks.
you'd better not bother me without a good reason.
This feels like one of those old movies. If I whistle, he'll come running. What a nut! Great. The important thing is to focus on getting the ingredients this guy needs to make the sushi for me. It's occurred to me that, yes, I bet I can use that Chinese sign I grabbed at Wazowski's as a makeshift mat. What a relief. One less thing to worry about. And this leaf I picked up for Rutger could be used as nori. It's always nice to know you've got half the things you need without moving a finger.
Falta só o peixe, então?
Okay, let's go on out.
Ele não investigou aqui fora ainda.
I think that's an oil lamp. Sun's going down. Better leave it on. That's the bottle that zany chef tossed at me. Multi-purpose bleach. Yeah, I think I've earned it. It isn't full, but there's quite a bit left. Luckily, it's closed tight and didn't break when that nutcase threw it at me.
Sim, ele pediu ajuda para fazer o sushi pro Joshua recuperar a memória. É isso que ele está precisando.
It's a clear plastic tube. This kind of thing always seems to prove handy. I'll take it. In the end, it's the simple things in life that turn out to be the most useful. It's full of wine or some other spirit from the smell of it. Let's check out the label. Sneaky Pete's Shrubbery Beer? Must be the local brew. No, I'd look like an industrial-sized St. Bernard. That's one of those instruments they use to measure the wind's speed and direction.
Ah, seria uma piada se não precisasse explicar a piada. Porque ele está escrevendo para sushi e querendo fazer sushi. Não, usar a madeira aqui no machado.
It's not the most ideal tool, but if I cut it in just the right spot, maybe I could carve something resembling chopsticks.
Com alguma demora e muito cuidado, vai conseguir fazer
Well, it can't hurt to try.
pauzinho de sushi. Com uma batida só ele conseguiu.
Oh, look at that. I did a pretty good job.
Agora sim, falta só
Someone must have put it there to cross the river. Doesn't look like there's anything interesting on the other side, though. Let's hope I don't slip. Better be careful. It's hard to see through the ice, but it looks like there are fish swimming by underneath.
Foi lá só olhar. Faz furo no gelo.
It's hard to fathom how a whole river could turn into ice. No, that looks more dangerous than walking through quicksand. Great idea! I'll make a hole in the ice. Let's get to work.
Motosserra. Serra, serra, serra.
Oh yeah. I forgot the chainsaw's gas tank is dry as a bone. I'll have to forget about making the hole till I get some fuel.
Esse
I
aqui,
don't get it.
esse aqui com ali para tirar a gasolina de algum tanque. Tem que ver lá. Ah, tem carro ali na cabana.
That's one of those doohickeys they use to drag heavy things with. The cable is released, then pulled in by a small motor. I think it's called a winch.
Não, e cabo de aço para carregar alguma coisa. Não é isso agora.
It's in pretty good shape for being abandoned outdoors, especially if you consider it has more dents than a junkyard special and a few wheels less than required by law. I hope it doesn't fall off as I open it. I doubt it'll start. Plus, in this condition, there's no way it's gonna budge.
Agora ele não quer abrir isso aí. E usando a canícula para pegar a gasolina.
This is gonna leave a gross aftertaste, but oh well. Yuck! Talk about needing a mint. It isn't full, but that should do. I bet the chainsaw won't run on just gasoline alone. I'll just approximate the amount of oil. Maybe it's my lucky day.
Ah, era o contrário, o óleo dentro da gasolina.
Well, now my little mixture is all ready. Well, let's hope I made the mixture with the right proportions. Yes! It works! But I better turn it off for the time being.
O assassino da serra elétrica.
It's the mascot of a pizzeria. How appropriate for this region.
Vai falar com ele?
Make me some pizza, Bullwinkle. My stomach's growling. Hey, that might be a good idea.
Boa ideia cortar o alce.
I know a guy who could be interested in that head. It's not exactly a bear head, but anyway. Huh. Now that I think of
Ele
it,
quer
if I
fazer...
took off the antlers, it would look pretty much the same, wouldn't it? Okay, let's flex that muscle. Much better, yeah.
Cabeça de urso pro Ben Wazowski.
A bear head would have been cooler, but I bet this will come in handy. It's pretty disgusting, just like its former owner. Okay, let's check out the results. It's a little stinky, but now it looks a lot more like the head of a polar bear.
Oh, agora sim, tá igualzinho um urso polar. Já que ele não sabe fazer camelo, vai fazer um urso polar com um narigão desses aí. Que mais que tinha aqui para fazer nesse? Acho que por enquanto nada. Depois a gente vai ter que usar esse cabo carregador, puxador em alguma coisa. Wazowski, tem uma cabeça aqui para você se misturar com os ursos.
Yeah, I could pass it off as a fat-headed bear. But when it's on, Wazowski won't be able to see where he's walking and he might bump into something painful. I should do something about this.
O que ele disse do Wazowski andar com?
It smells kind of like bleach, but that shouldn't be a problem. The important thing is that the color is much more apropos.
Tem que fazer furo pros olhos?
Yeah, great idea. The knife's not very sharp, but I could use it to cut a lengthwise strip which could then be lifted like a visor. That way, whoever puts the head on can see where they're walking.
Muito obrigadinho, dona moça. Era isso mesmo.
Done. Hope it works. A bear head would have been cooler, but I bet this... All right, I'll leave it on top of his backpack to give him a surprise. There we go.
Tava no bolso.
Ben!
What's up, amigo?
Surprise, my friend. Look what you've got in your backpack.
The head of a bear? Very well done, but what variety of polar bears does that head belong to? I can't seem to place it.
Well, it's actually from a moose.
The moose polar bear? Not familiar with that species, but I've never been to a moose myself. Where's that located? Anyway, I don't think there's much of a difference between polar bear species anyway.
Of course not. The time has come, Ben. Now that your disguise is complete, you can totally infiltrate the inner core of the bear community without a fear.
Yes, finally my dream will come true. But the bears I've been observing up to now are a bit too old. I'd rather start with a younger specimen. As soon as a less experienced bear shows up, I'll try to fraternize with it.
Então vamos pescar salmão, fazer um buraco no lago. Enquanto o Ben espera os ursos para se enturmar. Motosserra.
All right, now the chainsaw's ready. Let's get to work. Perfect. Euclid couldn't have drawn a better circle. Dude! Whew! I thought he was coming after me. Looks like he just wanted to use the hole to fish in, though. I'll have to come up with a way to shoo him off.
Sai daí que o buraco é meu.
I hope that doesn't freeze back over. I don't believe we humans are equipped to use the fishing technique of bears. What a large and furry creature. But I can run faster than him. I'd rather not have to try, though. Well, let's try with this. Baloo, come home right now or you won't get any honey for dessert. I don't know why, but I suspected that wouldn't work.
Vai lá pertinho, hein? Wazowski, tem urso lá pra você confraternizar.
Listen, Ben.
What's on your mind?
It seems like such a waste for you to keep on observing from afar when you could be with that bear down there.
Bear? What bear? Where?
In the river, on the tree trunk that's there for crossing. It almost looks like a cub.
And here I was looking at the forest. Then the clock's a ticking.
Come on, buddy. I know you can do it.
Here we go.
Agora
A
vai.
touch of ferocious bear essence will help too.
Ele tá colocando essência de urso feroz, vai brigar lá. Coloca a essência de ursa no cio.
Yes, now that Wazowski is gone, I can do it without getting caught.
Daí sim vai confraternizar.
I hope Wazowski doesn't notice. No, I better not distract the bear while Wazowski tries to win over its trust.
Oh, the disappointment. Who would have known that bear would get so grumpy? If I approached him any closer, he would have torn me to pieces.
Não deu certo, só brigou. Ele não pode olhar nada, ele não quer. Isso ele já examinou da outra
The
vez.
zoom on that camera is amazing. Yes, sirree. It ranges from 25 to 250 millimeters. I don't need to photograph or film anything. The video camera doesn't seem very state-of-the-art, though. I don't need to photograph or film anything.
Não, ele só quer que o Wazowski volte lá agora, cheirando ursa no cio, o outro urso vai gostar.
Listen, Ben.
What's on your mind?
It seems like such a waste for you to keep on observing from afar when you could be with that bear down there.
Are you sure it isn't too risky, Brian? It looked like it wanted to disembowel me before.
You can't give up now, Ben. You're too close to the finish line.
I'm no quitter. But I don't want to die at the hands of a bear either.
Die? My impression is that they growled as a sort of primeval greeting.
Yeah, maybe he was. Come on, where is my bear head from a moose?
Right where you left it, on the backpack.
I'm really out of it. One of these days, I'm gonna lose my head. Anyway, let's go.
Go get him, Ben.
World, here I come.
Come on, buddy. I know you can do it.
Here we go. A
Coitado do
touch of ferocious bear essence will help too.
Something tells me Wazowski's gonna be a success this time. they vanished into the woods. Oh, the humanity, it was terrifying. Wazowski's face was like an open book, especially at the beginning. But then, I don't know how to describe it. Well, I hope he's happy in his new life. The important thing is that love conquered all.
Esvaziou o buraco, pelo menos.
I don't believe we humans are equipped to use the fishing technique of bears.
Ah, tem a pata de urso aqui.
Wazowski must have dropped it during his little, office meeting. It's too far from the shore in the trunk to be able to reach it.
Ai, ai. Puxar na beirinha. Ah, hóquei no gelo. Fácil. Foi feito para isso.
Yeah, I think I can reach it. Let me see if I can.
Pega esse puckle aí.
I'll return it to Wazowski if he shows up around here. I would, but common sense has suddenly clouded my judgment.
Ah, não. Usar o taco no buraco.
Hey, good idea.
Claro.
Try to copy the bear. Let's see if I can do it as well as he does.
Faz de conta que é um puckle e joga longe.
The stick is so smooth and flat that as soon as I touched the salmon, it slipped off and swam away.
Agora vai fazer o que eu disse para fazer?
Yeah, that looks like a good imitation bear claw. Quite promising. Look out, salmon. Here I come.
As boas ideias eu sempre
Looks
tenho
a
antes
bit-
que ele. As más ideias ele tem sozinho e rapidamente.
Okay, let's hope my idea works now. Unbelievable! I never would have imagined it to be so easy. Took some work, but I've got it at last. One perfect specimen of an Alaskan salmon.
É.
Well, maybe my chef can get to work with the things I've gathered. Look, I brought everything you wanted to make the sushi. And I have the cash, too. Do you mind if I ask you something, Archibald? $1,000 is a bit steep for a plate of sushi. I think it's only fair that you lower your price a bit.
Whatever you say. But if we lower the price, it's only fair that we lower the quality too. So, in the end, I get less than $1,000. Then you get a dish of sushi with no fish, no rice, and whatever I feel like sticking in. It depends on how well you can take another bottle in your face.
Will you take long to prepare the sushi? Where will you leave it?
How long is it going to take you to learn not to stick your nose into other people's work? It'll be ready when it's ready, mister. I doubt you'll understand, but let me try to explain. If you come here and the sushi's nowhere to be seen, then it's not ready. But if you come and see a plate of sushi, that means it's done. Did you comprehend that?
Yeah, but if you leave it out here, some animal might come by and eat it. It might be safer if you leave it right in the shelter, where my friend is waiting.
Well, well, Mama's boy is requesting a delivery service. If that's what you want, call up Sicily and order a pizza. They're gross. You'll love them.
I said please, Archibald. Take the sushi to the shelter for me.
All right, but favors have a price. That'll cost you more.
That's impossible. I gave you all I have.
That's nice to know. Tonight I shall dine on sushi as I ask myself where the $1,000 in my pocket came from.
What more do you want? The clothes off my back?
Kid, only one thing would gross me out more than wearing your disgusting, oversized baby clothes. Having to see you naked as you hand it over to me.
I don't know what else I can give you.
Let me think. If I'm not mistaken, you have a cell phone on you, right?
Yeah, but it cost me a fortune.
I was thinking I could resell it, but forget it. I'll take you the sushi in exchange for you leaving me alone and getting out of here for good.
My sincere thanks, Archie.
Archie? You have the balls
Archie.
to call me Archie? What do you think we are, relatives? Or do you think you have the right to insult my parents' good taste with your tacky nicknames?
Sorry, Archie,
Not again! You little... All right, give me the cell phone. The cell phone, or the deal's off.
All right, if there's no other choice. At the shelter, okay?
If I'd known you were trying to feed the village people's blind cousin, I'd be preparing, making the sushi with your eyeballs. And if you bug me again, kid, I'll make some with your family jewels.
No, man, that won't be necessary.
You'd make some great sausage, too.
See you later.
Good riddance, kid.
Why, you. Oh! Come on, Joshua. Dear boy.
Vai lá, Tigo. Era mesmo.
Delicious! What's for dessert?
Hey, what about that password?
Yes, I remember.
Where are you going?
Yahoo!
Boa ideia.
Oh la la! I'm starving. Ah.
Comemora.
Look at the mess this wacko got us into. Well, at least it stopped snowing. That's better than nothing. Maybe I should have kept my big mouth shut.
Já vai travar o jogo de novo, voltou a nevar. Agora é hora de usar esse gancho aqui, então.
Hey, I could use it to tow Joshua to shore. I hope I can get it to work. I was afraid of this. The battery is dead. It won't work unless I get the pickup truck started first. I always liked pickups, but they're prettier in just one color. Yeah, if I get the engine to start, the winch will work. We're in luck. The key is in the ignition. It won't start. I guess I was asking for a miracle. It's got gasoline for sure, and the battery light hasn't come on, so there must be something wrong with the engine. I'm not much of an auto mechanic, but it can't hurt to open up the hood and take a look-see. I wonder if there is even an engine inside. How weird. There's no sign of the rod used to hold up the hood.
hold, hockey, tudo no mundo tem uma ligação.
The hockey stick may be too long, but it could work. Though it would be better if I take off the bear claw first. Perfect. Now I can take a good look at the engine. Okay, let's see if I can figure out why it won't start. One thing's for sure, it doesn't have any spark plugs. I'm not very good at these things, but I'll take a look. One thing's for sure, it doesn't have any spark plugs.
Spark plugs é vela de motor. Motor da motosserra.
Yeah, I could use the knife as a screwdriver in order to remove the spark plug from the chainsaw.
Spark plug na motosserra. Acho que é vela, sim.
Presto! Now I've got a spark plug. I think that's the device that creates a spark to turn on the engine.
Agora estou ensinando inglês até para baixo.
Let's see if I can put it in right.
Ou estou ensinando mecânica para ela.
Done. Hopefully the engine will work now.
Mecânica de automóveis.
Cross your fingers. Sweet! Let's hope the winch will work. Yes! Let's get this nightmare over with.
Ainda bem que agora ele vai fazer tudo sozinho.
Joshua, pay attention! Grab it! I've got to get that nutcase off the icy lake.
Esqui aquático, segura aí. Iceberg aquático.
Perfect, this is working. I'll get Joshua's monk outfit from the shelter. He should be wearing it when we go to Professor Simon's house. If they see him in his regular clothes, they won't let us in, even with the password. Here, Joshua. Well, here we go.
The man who knows does not speak.
The man who speaks doesn't know.
Come in. Don't be afraid of the dogs.
Come on, chop chop.
O homem que fala não sabe.
Those barking dogs? Just one of Simon's MP3s. And I thought I wouldn't live to tell the story, but I had a stroke of luck and managed to escape through the amoeba.
My dear friend, you've displayed some exemplary courage by confronting Kordsmeyer. And as for you...
My name is Joshua, and I'm starving.
I see. Alpha spoke to me of you, the human who lives among Trantorians. You are quite lucky.
My stomach's growling with hunger.
As is mine, dear friend. Though it's the hunger for knowledge which makes us scientists.
I think my legs are going to give out.
Joshua, we're short on time, and I haven't even figured out what those Trantorians are doing here.
You are new to the field, then. Please, take a seat. Trantor, an ancient and distinguished planet, more than 60 light eons from our own.
Let me tell you, if you thought the walk up here was far...
Its inhabitants had already dominated quantum technology before the first single-celled being sprouted to life on Earth.
What he means is they already had some awesome wares running when our ancestors were riding in slime.
They learned to model the space-time continuum at their whim, to leap from galaxy to galaxy, to alight onto dimensional vortices in a purely tangential manner.
In a word, their travel budget was out of this world.
Their telepathic mastery is such that they could dispense with their mere physical presence, should that be their whim.
Dude, not even Scullery thought of that.
As you are aware, Their civilization is beyond ours by an exponentially awe-inspiring amount.
They do seem to be pretty quick.
They could effortlessly make slaves of whole solar systems and shrink them infinitesimally with nothing but a thought.
Their brains could fry our sorry bodies into a heap of atoms. Boggles the mind, huh?
Yet all that seems to interest them is an intergalactic zoo.
He means the only... A what?
A zoo?
Fascinating, is it not? They trek throughout the universe collecting animals and take them to a planet 3 times larger than Earth, an immense zoological collection where ecosystems from extremely distant galaxies and eras coexist. During the journey, they put the animal into an induced slumber which they refer to as the dream.
Sounds like they've been keeping some info from me.
Furthermore, they've been coming to Earth since the dawn of time, and though they actually need no one, they have made us all stakeholders in their enterprise.
The truth is, I don't quite get it.
A time came at which Earth's technological development made it difficult for Trantorians to go unnoticed, and therefore they contacted our most eminent scientists to reach an agreement. We would protect them when visiting, conceal them from the public eye, and supply them with animals. In exchange, they would provide us with some of their knowledge and most advanced technology.
What a deal!
Yes, my friend. Don't you find it unbelievable that mankind has carried out the technological revolution of the 20th century with no help? Had Trantor failed to furnish us with knowledge, theories, and prototypes, we would never have gotten so far. Think of heretofore unconceivable vaccines, the space race, or even the vacuum tubes in the first computer. And you are thinking of Trantor.
I knew that, and the first jelly-filled donut. They told me so.
Astounding, isn't it? As I was saying, we trade animals for wisdom. The Earthling entity responsible for coordinating these efforts is the Contactors International Agency, of which I myself was a member until recently.
Until Kordsmeyer appeared, I suppose.
Precisely, during the dream of the platypus. We were waiting for the Trantorians in a cave in Kubapeti, Australia, when the rocks in the ceiling started raining down on us. It looked like our days were numbered. Right at that moment, a Trantorian appeared through an amoeba point carrying a small sphere in his hand. The NG-0, an antiparticle generator that reduces all sorts of matter to nothing. He raised it up and aimed it at the rocks, and they disappeared instantaneously, as if they'd never existed. Since then, Kordsmeyer has been awfully interested in the NG-0. He even ordered me to ask the Trantorians for it. When I refused, he tried to have me eliminated. So I was forced to leave my position and flee to this dull hideout. Surrounded by safety measures with passwords known only by Alpha, Trantor's High Commissioner for Earthling Affairs. And now you, of course.
So what we know is that Kordsmeyer has managed to get a Trantorian spaceship into trouble. At least enough for it to risk sending a message through Joshua.
Whoops! With all this chit-chat, I forgot about the message. Yes, Simon.
What is that?
Let us join hands, and then you will see.
Joshua put a lid on it.
Man!
Silence!
Eu quero acreditar. Via Láctea, Terra, inglês.
Trantor's High Commissioner for Earthling Affairs with the human name Alpha. Scientific Craft 2017 Milky Way 2801. Mission: The Dream of the Turtle. Date: 389 728 24 Onion 147. Hello. Professor James Simon, we require your help once again. Our head chef has stolen the Trentonite from our ship, both the current and spare Trentonite stones, and has given it to the military. Colonel Nathaniel H. Kurzmeyer will only return them to us if we exchange it for something you call the NG0. We do not want to give it up, but as you know, Trentonite forms part of our very essence, and we cannot survive far from it. As you know, we cannot even breathe long without it. And as if that were not enough, yesterday we found a seriously injured human at the bottom of Tiki Lake, where our ship is located.
Gina! She's alive!
According to our moral code, we were required to help her. Under normal conditions, we would have cured her immediately, but without the Trentonite, we can do nothing more than keep her in a dreamlike state. And that is depleting the little energy we have available. Nonetheless, one chance for salvation still remains. Professor James Simon. Centuries ago, one of our reconnaissance ships crashed near the city now known as Palenque. And the Trentonite kept on board may still be in that area. Professor James Simon, find it and a way to bring it to us.
Essa fala da missão impossível.
And some of the local onion soup, every can of senior onion you can muster. Please.
Professor Simon, are you okay?
Just give me a minute or two. I need to warm up.
Aren't you hungry too?
Holy smokes! We have to keep the Trantorians from giving the NG0 to Kordsmeyer for sure. In the wrong hands, that weapon could destroy a city the size of Los Angeles in tenths of a second. Dear friends, we must travel to Palenque to find the Trentonite immediately, or we can begin to say farewell to the world as we know it.
You can count on me, Professor. And on Joshua, of course.
I bet you're just real hungry, Professor Simon. Hey, why don't we call that sushi guy?
Good thinking. May I use your phone?
It isn't a safe way to communicate, given the circumstances. Do you mind if I ask why?
I know of a friend who could help us out. Someone we fully trust.
Magnificent. Then I recommend you sit at my laptop computer and use the impenetrable ultra-safe crypto chat. Provided that your friend is online at this very moment, that is.
Don't worry. If there were one person online in the whole world, it'd be Sushi Douglas.
Well, I am clueless about the online chatting. Of course, since Trantor is all about telepathic talk.
Hey, Sushi, are you there?
Aí que começou o jogo.
Do you mean that the Trantorians don't have the internet? How do you think Alpha informs us of trading dates, if not by email? In fact, after reading their email, we type in www.planet-trantor.com and we enter our code so that they will provide us with the details of the transaction.
I'm totally out of the loop. Nobody told me about any of this.
You leave me in awe, my dear friend. If not, where do you believe the network of all networks was designed? In the mind of a simple human? No, it was them who showed us how to build it and use it. What I've never understood is how they get online from other solar systems. I don't know. Perhaps they use neutrino transducers, like in that splendid novel by William Garza.
Have you got that one? That book must have gotten at least 5 stars. You wouldn't happen to have anything by Sarah Martin, would you?
Nathan?
What's up, doll? Think you'll ever find our little pest?
Hush, hush, soldier boy. My spiderweb is about to strangle both him and the monk. And it looks like we got 3 for the price of 2. Your old pal Simon's here.
Simon? Ha! I knew I'd end up catching him. Overeducated scientist. Anyway, make him vanish and come to Mala pronto, lady.
Have you already gotten the real Pignon to cooperate?
I know how to make up his mind. The clock's ticking before the big event.
K. Dick, all of Asimov, and of course Brian Scullery's complete works.
Yuck! What are you doing with that gossipy pulp in your library?
Allow me to tell you a secret. If you tug on the third volume of his infamous UFO Lies and the Houdini Legacy, you'll see something open up before your feet.
At Simon's house. And that's where my story ends, for now.
Sounds like quite an adventure, but you can count on me. What do you want me to do?
Think about it, shrimp. While you pull the trigger, I'll stick my finger up the barrel. My fingers get blown off, but the force of the opposite reaction will make the bullet shoot backwards, at a speed 9 times faster. It'll blow up the gun and your face will get erased.
Seriously?
I knew you were an idiot.
I'm gonna kill him!
No one ordered you to do it, 13. They're not paying you for this one. It's the ones inside they want.
Well, get a move on before my Christmas shopping begins.
Did that spy from Hawaii turn up yet?
Not yet, Tarantula.
This is getting a bit tiresome. They've been in there for hours. All right, 18. Finish off the other 2. Then we'll go in and get the spy.
Which one should I take out first? The clown?
No, the old geezer's more important. What are you waiting for?
Houdini's Legacy, Joshua. Brian, go after him.
What about you?
I'll be fine. Everything depends on you now. Run!
But
Jump for Pete's sake! Find that stone! Find it!
Hold on tight!
Brian? Are you there? Brian? Something's wrong. We have to leave immediately.
Saudade de Douglas, viu?
Saturn, we're going on a trip. Brian's in trouble.
BB in trouble? Give me 5 minutes.
You're not leaving me here, are you, man?
And bring your best equipment. We may need it.
4 minutes.
I'll go grab some equipment too, but the good stuff. You're gonna fly when you see it, man.
Capítulo 5.
Huh? Where am I? A boat?
Aqui o Nautilus. Capitão Nemo. Inclusive com a lula gigante
I
pendurada.
ache all over. And that light. Just a sec. Hold on. Give me a minute here. Let's see. I escaped with Joshua on Simon's snowmobile. We got as far as Sicily, and from there to Anchorage, where we hopped on a flight to San Diego, since we were supposed to meet Sushi there, and then, I don't know. I can't remember anything else. Truth is, I feel like I've been asleep for 3 days. Joshua's missing, and what in the world am I supposed to do now?
Então hoje vamos parando por aqui. O Exou Biribó, agradecendo a presença, o apoio, as dicas, torcida, as traduções, desejando boa noite, até amanhã. Por enquanto eu fui.